thank you very much, and to all of our distinguished guests that are here, Attorney General Reno, Secretary Mineta, Congressman Matsui, the distinguished guests on the dais. But I would be remiss if I did not ask for 1 second for the veterans of the greatest generation that are here today, if they would stand. This monument will join other monuments that exist in the world today, whether it is the painful drive between Bishop and Lone Pine on Highway 395 in California through the Owens Valley, the monument at Manzanar, or whether it is the white crosses and the Jewish Stars of Davis on the other monument at the American Cemetery at Annunzio, Italy. This memorial here will join those places in terms of embodying both the heroics and the dedication of the soldiers and Americans that served their country under the hardest of times, who served with heroism and dedication, but also while indignities and hardships were suffered by their families. This memorial will embody not only the pride and triumph of America at its finest hour, when America stood courageously against totalitarianism, but it will also mark the shame and humility it earned when it fell prey to its prejudice and fears. Visitors will learn a definition of patriotism more personal and powerful than any dictionary could convey. They will learn about people who believed in fidelity to America even when America was wrong, in the belief that one day it would be right again. They will learn about people who continue to love America at a time when many in America looked on them with fear. They will learn about people who believed in themselves even when others doubted. Because each and every one of them, especially our veterans, had a loyalty that transcended any questionnaire, a loyalty to what America could be and should be. Ladies and gentlemen, they did fight to the finish. The Nisei generation of Americans indeed made us proud. The 100th Infantry Battalion started the siege of Monte Cassino in Italy, facing a hellish gauntlet. A 2-mile stretch of marsh laced with picket mines and wide open to machine gun fire. Flooded irrigation ditches, 7-foot-high concrete walls, river embankments, and then 1,500 feet of mountainside where enemy forces had dug in. They fought and they made it all the way to the castle walls, and their bravery was so renowned that they were known as the Purple Heart Battalion. Today, the 442nd Regiment Combat Team is known as the Go for Broke Team. In October of 1944, they were given one of the most difficult missions of World War II. Battle through 9 miles of enemy territory to save a lost battalion from Texas that had been encircled by an enemy. Ultimately, more than 800 soldiers, virtually all Japanese Americans, gave their lives to rescue 275 of their comrades. But as one veteran of the fight said, there was never a thought of turning back, never. No one even mentioned it. We just kept plowing forward to reach the lost battalion, period, and they did. The contribution of Japanese Americans in World War II by the numbers is astonishing. More than 9,000 Purple Hearts, more than 18,000 individual decorations. For their numbers and length of service, the Japanese Americans of the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, including the 100th Infantry Battalion, became the most decorated unit in American military history. Earlier this year, America finally recognized the extraordinary bravery and performance of a group of Japanese American veterans by bestowing on them the Medal of Honor. During the war, Lieutenant General Mark Clark, who commanded the 5th Army in Italy, said of Japanese Americans in uniform, "They performed magnificently on the field of battle. General George Marshall's assessment was superb, rare courage, tremendous fighting spirit. And General Charles Ryder, who commanded the 100th Battalion as part of the 34th Division in Italy, wrote, "No qualifier whatsoever. This is the finest fighting unit I ever knew." The greatest generation did more than save lives. They have become the role models for the rest of our society. And anyone who doubts the contribution that they made in paving the way for others can measure that contribution in the life of our current Chief of Staff of the United States Army, one of the great soldiers in the United States today, General Eric Shinseki, and his wife. They would please stand. The founding fathers that signed the Declaration of Independence dedicated their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to the generation of Americans that is before us today. They followed in that same path. They offered their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. We are in their debt, we are in your debt. And so as this memorial is dedicated to all of the men who served, to their families who supported them, and to those loved ones that endured great hardship, this memorial stands as a monument to the sacrifice of the greatest generation. Thank you very much.